I think in the sequence of Through the Lens, it could have been a thriller for the use of the music used. It was both non-diegetic and diegetic, and it's also supernatural. I thought like a supernatural genre, because obviously it had a ghost in it, and there was gory scenes as well. That was in the sequence. An opening sequence, because we had the plot at the start with the dad opening up the newspaper and it said somebody was killed. So, and then it went deeper into the plot as the sequence moved on. I think the characters were represented reflecting us and how we are in our society now. Like, there was a shot where we see the girls walking and we saw the Converse. Obviously, people our age, about 16 to 20-year-olds, wear Converses, and there was also the iPhones, where they'll just be showing the pictures of the iPhones and us using them. Obviously, it is a social norm, I think, our age, to be having them kind of devices with us. So, yeah. I thought that the use of, it's shown it was the morning time, obviously, when the dad sat at the breakfast table eating his breakfast, reading the newspaper. We could tell it was the morning then, and then obviously it went to the woodside scene, and when you watch something with a woodside setting, you kind of know something's gonna happen because it's such a abnormal place to be. And it reminded me a bit of The Witch Project. Obviously that's set in the woods, and there was always something happening in The Witch Project, and it reminded me of the sequence I saw. Like, there was always something that was gonna come around the corner when you weren't expecting it. I think some of the themes that were running through the sequence was death. Obviously, it was leading up to the moment the girl was on the floor lying, I presume she was dead, and then obviously the supernatural theme with the ghost in the woods. It was really like gory, because obviously we saw bloody scenes. What else was there? Gashes to the head. So yeah. I think it's a bit of a social norm that people our age appeal to that sort of genre, like thriller genre. I mean, I would definitely go to the cinema to go see it, because anything with thriller written all over it, I would go see it. It's something that really appeals to me. I find it really entertaining just watching the sequence. I knew that I wanted to go see more of it, to find out what happened to the girl. Did she survive? Did she not? Did she go to the other side? And obviously the paranormal activity in it was also a big hit. I loved the unique establishing shot where it was from the newspaper and it zoomed into the picture, and then all of a sudden we're in the woods of where the killing happened. It was really good. So the camera shots was also good. There was one where it was taken from a low angle shot and it showing the whole setting of the woods. It looked amazing. The mise-en-scène was brilliant. The costumes itself, it appealed to young people. Like, I think one of the girls was wearing like a brown turtleneck, and obviously that's something what us younger girls would be wearing, so obviously younger people can relate to it. So yeah. Well, it was quite hard to criticise the sequence, but one of my questions when watching it was, it was in the woods scene where, I can't remember what it was, but there was a prop on the floor which indicated the death, but I didn't understand why it was there in the first place. Like, did someone else use it? Was someone else killed there? I wasn't too sure on the placing of the prop. So maybe for next time make it clear on why the prop was there. So yeah. Well, I thought that just from watching the sequence, it was probably quite a windy day, and how they abolished and just cleared the wind in the background, because obviously the camera will pick it up. The group made sure they stuck their attention to that to try and abolish everything that was in the background that wasn't appropriate for the trailer. So I reckon, yeah, I thought the sound was really good. Like non-diegetic sound was there, and also diegetic sound was in there as well. So I can't criticise their sound. I think the primary audience is targeted at young people, boys, but more necessarily girls, because obviously, stereotypically speaking, it's always the boys going into the woods to go find out what's been killed and doing all the fighting. But I think this sequence goes against the norms and has the main characters actually being girls. So obviously I reckon some feminists will probably be interested in this sequence, because obviously they want to not idolise male domination. I reckon from the death of the girl, I reckon the other two main characters will go on to find out more about the supernatural ghost girl, and maybe they'll find a way to bring their friend back to life, or maybe find a way to kill off the supernatural girl. Yeah, as I said, like, thriller is something that appeals to me, and the narrative really did grab my attention. Like, obviously I wanted to find out more, so I knew I was quite hooked on it, and I liked the idea of there being the three girls instead of, stereotypically speaking, the three boys going in and fighting into the woods, as I said before. So yeah. Yeah, I think that the titles fit in well with the footage. At the starting of the sequence, we saw for example, director's narratives, and then at the end again. Yeah, I thought it did go really well with the footage. Yeah, I think the camera work was really good. There was a scene, I forgot what kind of shot it would be called, but it was where the camera zoomed in onto the newspaper and then showing us the setting of what's happening in the woods. The camera used was of good quality, which is always a pro when it comes to filming. The camera wasn't too shaky or anything, and it all just seemed to roll nicely, so good.